Good day, everyone. My name is Adam Livingston, and I am the Bitcoin Wizard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to hell. Population, you and your boss. Bitcoin has crashed yet again. We're down to 78,000, so look around right now. You are living in this dystopian meat grinder society. You're clocking into your fluorescent lit wage coffin every single day just to be able to afford a subscription to your own surveillance. You are earning dollars that expire in value faster than the McRib. And you're doing it with a smile because your HR manager gave you this branded hoodie and a self-care webinar. But every single time that you get close, just close to clawing your way out of this fiat blender to touch something real, there's a fake dump and the elites want you to sell your Bitcoin. Every single time that you continue to stack Bitcoin like you are a free man, they send in the psychological SWAT team. They tell you to take profits. Bitcoin is dead again. The environment is crying. Have you considered mutual funds and dying in a cubicle? These people do not want you poor. They want you to be obedient. They want you to be the obedient tax cattle that you are. They want you docile. They want you making $14.50 per hour in a Taco Bell drive-thru while BlackRock is buying another 10,000 Bitcoin with your suppressed dreams and a yield curve. And you sit there covered in your Baja Blast wearing a paper hat, and you think that you're the crazy one? No, brother, you are not crazy. You are under siege. Let's take account for what's happened. Well, did they rig the housing market? Absolutely they did. Then they poisoned the money. They subsidized your spiritual death with coupons and TikTok filters, and now they want your Bitcoin too. They want you to cash out like the weak simp that you are so you can pay your capital gains to fund drone strikes. They want your seed phrase so they can wrap it in these ESG wrappers and sell it to Larry Fink's cousin in Dubai. Wake the hell up. This is not a game. You think that we're living in some phase transition? This is the final level of the simulation that we are living in. You can either exit the fiat matrix with Bitcoin or you are going to die live streamed in a Target break room with $13 in your checking account and a 40-year mortgage on a house that you never owned. The elites want your Bitcoin because it's the one thing that they cannot counterfeit, inflate, or censor. It is a weapon. It is a peaceful, protocol-enforced, time preference obliterating weapon. Do not fall victim to the psyop, because if you sell it now, you're not taking profits. You are handing your freedom to the very demons who engineered this clown world in the first place. So hold the line, stack harder, opt out, and for the love of God, quit letting Taco Bell be your retirement plan. Before we get into why Bitcoin threatens the elite's power, I really want to take a quick moment and thank Horizon. Horizon are some of the good guys because they help you take your trapped home equity to buy Bitcoin. That's correct. Your home equity that you've been sitting on for years, that trapped energy, that trapped value in your home, it can be transmuted into Bitcoin with no debt, no monthly payments, no term limits, and no risk of forced liquidation. We're not playing leverage games here. This is a company that is made by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. Home equity into digital orange immortality, untouchable by the elites. Go to joinhorizon.com. Link is in the video description below. I will talk more about them at the end of the video. And in addition to Horizon, I want to take another moment and thank another supporter of this channel, Bitbox. Bitbox is incredible. The greatest wallet that you could ever store your Bitcoin. The Bitbox O2 Nova Bitcoin only edition. The USB-C wallet that is compatible with your phone. You can literally just plug it in, transfer your Bitcoin over. It's that easy. Tempered glass, built by the Swiss like a Swiss bank vault. Incredible security. Works on Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iPhone, iPad. Effortless micro SD backup. Seriously, the best wallet to keep your money away from the elites. Link in the description below. Bitbox is amazing. Now let me explain why the ruling class soils their imported silk trousers every single time someone buys $50 of Bitcoin on Cash App, because it ends their entire business model that they have been using to rule over you, you peasant serf clown. Bitcoin is the thermonuclear divorce from the monetary parasite class that's been suckling at your productivity like a tick on a dog's testicle since the invention of central banking. Every single one of their schemes that they have cooked up, you have to think of every bailout, every war, every quarterly forecast of doom conveniently ends with printing another $1 trillion. Of course it does. They all depend on you owning nothing, controlling nothing, and holding melting trash in your checking account while pretending that it is wealth, and Bitcoin breaks that system. The 21 million cap is a crucifix that they shriek at. Self-custody is a gun that they can never disarm. The peer-to-peer transfer is an escape hatch tunnel beneath their debt prison, and the blockchain is the forensic autopsy of every single lie that they have told you since 1997. Bitcoin is a mirror that shows them exactly what they are. They are counterfeiting wizards running a debt orgy on top of a spreadsheet with infinite columns. And now you minimum wage peasant that they train to eat bugs and love the IMF, you suddenly have access to incorruptible money that settles globally in 10 minutes without asking permission. You have to think, what are the ramifications of this? It means that you have become a threat. You are a risk to financial stability. You are a domestic terrorist in a hooded sweatshirt. They don't fear Bitcoin because it's volatile. They fear it because it's final. No bailouts, no middlemen, no printing button, no oops, we meant transitory. They can never inflate it. They can't rig it. They cannot bail themselves out with it. And that's why every single screen, every talking head that you see, every concerned economist who smells like powdered milk, and student loans, they're all whispering the exact same thing. Please sell your Bitcoin, because if you don't, the entire house of cards burns. And you know what? That fire is the first real light that you will see in decades. You are living in a psychological war zone, and you are surviving inflation napalm. Because the second that you touch Bitcoin, that you press buy on your phone, the state deploys the entire Ministry of Truth to unbrain you in real time. Every single headline that is written, every single think piece from a think tank, every single lip-glossed Bloomberg talking head corpse rattling off concerns about volatility. It's not news that they're reading off to you. It is literally a script that was written by their demonic masters. You think these people report the news? They manufacture fear like Raytheon manufactures democracy. Every single Bitcoin bad headline that you read on Twitter is battlefield artillery. Every single market dip like this one is just coordinated demolition. Every influencer telling you to diversify into stocks and ETF is a Judas with a ring light and a Fidelity sponsorship. Let's break down this psyop. Step one is always a classic media blitz. They blast the airwaves with words like unsustainable, shadowy, unregulated, Ponzi. They quote figures who have been wrong more times than a broken sundial. Step two are the academic mouthpieces. Out come these Ivy League economic boomer professors, these fork-tongued economists writing 90-page papers called The Ecological Burden of Proof of Work on Polar Bear Migration Patterns, sponsored by JP Morgan, reviewed by Satan. And then step three, you have the controlled influencers. Your favorite TikTok girl boss tells you that Bitcoin is toxic and recommends you an S&P 500 index fund that returns 1% after inflation and robs your grandchildren. Step four is market manipulation theater. This is my favorite one. The flash crashes, the stop hunts, the futures blowouts, technical correction while BlackRock fills cold wallets behind the curtain like it's Wizard of Oz, except the wizard is Larry Fink holding a sawed-off shotgun. It's all engineered to make you feel alone, make you feel stupid, make you feel reckless. No one smart holds Bitcoin. Real investors buy bonds. Just sell a little. You can always buy back in cheaper. That voice in your head, that's not your intuition, my dearest little goblin rat. That is Janet Yellen doing ventriloquism with a sock puppet made of debt and antidepressants in your brain. They want you demoralized. They want you fatigued. They want you holding a bag of fiat and a LinkedIn certificate in financial compliance. But you're not here to comply, are you? You are here to to wage mimetic warfare. So hold tight, mute the noise, and remember, every single time that they scream louder, it means that you are closer to freedom. Now let's talk about how they really come for you, not with tanks or subpoenas or CNN. They come at you with a little something called terms and conditions. Because modern warfare isn't fought with bullets anymore, kids. It is fought with buttons. And the button says, freeze account. You think you're some sovereign individual? You think you're free? Try withdrawing $50,000 from your bank tomorrow without getting interrogated like you just threatened national security. Try moving your entire life savings out of Coinbase without tripping every single KYC wiretap and getting flagged as suspicious activity. They have built financial kill switches under every single keypad in your life. Let's break it down. Travel rule expansions. They've turned every single exchange into an arm of law enforcement. How do you think the strategic Bitcoin reserve is getting all of this seized Bitcoin? Every single UTXO that you touch is now a potential terrorism concern. You're seeing countries starting to wonder if we should have wealth taxes on unrealized gains. Yes, that is being debated in America of all places. Yes, they want to tax imaginary money before you sell. Thought crimes meet fiscal crimes. There are custody regulation schemes, for your safety, they'll push all Bitcoin into their regulated vaults. The vaults where you own nothing and you get a password to visit your coins like a zoo exhibit. You need to think of the cyber crisis emergency powers, one well-timed EMP or some ransomware scare, and they've got all the reason that they need to lock every single wallet for national stability. And this is the reality. None of this is really theoretical. It's written, it's being filed, it's being voted on, it's being piloted right now while you scroll and while you sleep. They are actively building a financial iron dome to intercept your exit velocity from this system. So you want to know what compliance really means, kids? It means being politely mugged with a PDF and a handshake. It means giving the IRS your seed phrase in a 1040 Schedule Z. It means watching the Bitcoin that you thought that you owned get reverse merged into this Fidelity Bitcoin Access product TM that pays you a 2% yield and takes your soul in escrow. In this world, you are not a citizen, you are a liquidity provider. You are not a threat until you decide to withdraw, until you custody, until you refuse to play by the script. And then suddenly you are a financial extremist. Good. Be extreme, because extreme is the only language that they understand. So unplug, opt out, and let the financial institutions burn from withdrawal starvation. Then you have the central bank digital currencies, the final boss, the Death Star, the kill switch to your entire financial life, dressed up as modernization. CBDCs are incarceration with a sleek user interface. So let me paint you the picture here. You are at a grocery store in 2027. You try to buy steak, transaction declined because your carbon score is too high this week. You've had 3 red meats, you've had 2 gas station coffees, and 1 Bitcoin podcast. You are now flagged as supply chain non-cooperative. Your funds, they still exist technically, but they're paused pending future behavioral alignment. You think I'm being a conspiracy theorist, don't you? You think I'm not talking about policy? This is what they're publishing. Programmable money, expiration dates, targeted spending, social compliance incentives. They want you to be an ant in their ant farm. These are like a Fitbit for your wallet, except the step counter is run by the IMF, and if you deviate from your prescribed route, well, your balance gets reallocated to community infrastructure, which really means that they took your money and they used it to build a gender-neutral crypto learning pod in a city that you're not allowed to leave. Every single CBDC pilot that you're going to see, from India to the EU to the Fed's sterile little test lab, it's going to come with the exact same phrase attached: increased oversight and accountability. Do you know what that actually means? It means that every single dollar that you touch has a memory. It remembers where you spent it, when, and why. It remembers that protest that you donated to. It remembers the book that you bought. It remembers if you bought zero sugar Pepsi with wild cherry and cream. It remembers that time you sent sats to your cousin in Argentina because their bank seized everything. And one day when the algorithm doesn't like your profile, it remembers to deny you bread in the breadline. They don't even need to ban Bitcoin. They just need to starve it. They need to choke the ramps, lock down the exits, make sure that every transaction outside of their system feels like smuggling gold bars across the North Korean border. And the worst of all, they will make it look very fun because they're going to give you little reward points, cash back, Kohl's Cash, green check marks. You are going to earn eco points for not fleeing your open air debt prison. You'll get a discount on your oat milk latte if you stop stacking sats. And most people will comply because obedience is gamified. And most people do not even want rights, in fact. They just want Netflix and they want garlic knots. But not you. Bitcoin is the exit before the cage door slams shut and you're paying taxes in Starbucks points. Let's take a stroll down memory lane, shall we? The year is 1933, the Great Depression. Banks are collapsing like the Jenga towers made out of lies. And what does the US government do? It commits the largest armed robbery in American history, and they called it patriotism. Executive Order 6102. Roosevelt kicked down the door of every American citizen and said, "Hey there, champ, that shiny little rock that you used to protect yourself from our catastrophic mismanagement, hand it over." They gave you $20.67 per ounce. Then in the same breath, they turned around and revalued it to $35. That was a 69% wealth theft overnight with a straight face and a signature. They printed the law, they robbed you blind, and then they told you it was for economic recovery. And you know what people did? Well, what did they do? They obeyed. They lined up. They turned in the gold. They saluted the flag while getting pickpocketed by a suit with a Harvard degree and an ulcer. Now fast forward to the year 2026. They cannot pull that trick again. Not like that, because Bitcoin does not sit in vaults. It lives in your cold wallet, your steel plate, and your mind. They can't break into your house and take your Bitcoin. They need you to consent, so they are going to try something far darker. They're going to tax it. They're going to regulate it. They are going to criminalize it by association. They will continue to label you as a cyber risk, as a non-cooperative actor, a threat to monetary stability. They'll do everything short of kicking down your door because they know that the door leads to a 12-word phrase and an unplugged internet connection. But make no mistake, the same minds that engineered this 1933 scheme, they are still in charge, and they wear better suits, they have faster computers, and they drink sparkling water now. But they want the same thing: your sovereignty, your savings, your surrender. They will call it a temporary measure. They'll say it's for price stability. They will say it's to protect you. That is the sound of the lock clicking on your cell. Unless you refuse, unless you self-custody with a Bitbox O2 Nova, let's go. Now, this was the ultimate warning in history, so ask yourself now, do you want to be the grandson of the man who gave up his gold, or the father of the kid who kept his Bitcoin? This is it. This is the last stand, the firewall between your future and the absolute economic gulag being engineered by career liars in their JCPenney suits and Pentagon-sponsored think tanks. You have now seen the trap. You have read the script. Now it is time to take the page out. You need to eat it and light the book on fire. Let me make this painfully clear to you. There is no cavalry coming. There is no benevolent politician out there. There is no safe ETF, no regulated Bitcoin product that preserves your freedom. There is only self-custody of the apex asset. Pull it off the exchanges now. Buy the cold wallet, write the seed phrase, burn the cloud backup, split the backups geographically, bury one in the woods, put the other in grandma's fruitcake tin, and tell no one. Run a full node. Don't trust, verify, anchor yourself to mathematical reality. Become ungovernable in the most polite, unstoppable way possible. Use privacy tools, use Lightning, learn peer-to-peer swaps. Every single UTXO is a footprint, remember that, and every footprint leads to your cage if you let it. And then you need to teach everyone you love your mom, your barber, the man who sells you black market heroin. Teach them before the panic, before the freeze orders, before the confiscation-like safety programs. Start earning in Bitcoin. Stop begging for the legacy system to give you yield. Become the economy that you wish existed, one transaction at a time, one sat at a time, and above all, do not sell during these fake crashes. Your Bitcoin is not just some line of code. It is time. It is stored energy. It is every single hour that you didn't spend licking the boot of bureaucracy. You want freedom, you have to choose it. You want freedom, you have to practice it. You have to bleed for it before they trick you into selling it. Because the next war, you think they're going to fight it against you with guns and bombs? They're going to be fighting it with their spreadsheets, with their capital controls, with their AI auditors and tax bots, with 404 pages where your bank used to be. But you will be on-chain, you will be uncancelable, you will be undefeated, untraceable, and unbothered because you, my friend, you saw the trap and you did not walk in. You ran the other way with 21 million reasons to never, ever go back. My name is Adam Livingston. I am the Bitcoin Wizard. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel in order to support my mission of spreading the orange gospel of Bitcoin to the masses. Have a terrific day. Do not party too hard. Class dismissed. We all want to own more Bitcoin, but most of us aren't sitting on piles of idle cash, and that is where Horizon comes in. Horizon lets homeowners convert a portion of their home equity into Bitcoin so they can diversify into an asset with stronger long-term growth potential. What makes Horizon stand out is its flexibility. There are no monthly payments, no interest charges, and no fixed term limit. You stay in your home, you stay in control, and the coin that you buy is fully yours to hold in custody however you choose. That means no margin calls, no forced selling, and no scenario where Bitcoin volatility puts your home at risk. If you believe that Bitcoin will outperform your home's growth over the long term, Horizon gives you a way to act on it using capital that you already have. Horizon has already helped hundreds of homeowners put their equity to work in Bitcoin, and they'd love to help you as well. Visit joinhorizon.com using this QR code or at the link in the video description. You can see how it works and estimate how much Bitcoin you could unlock in just 90 seconds. Transform your home equity into Bitcoin today with Horizon.